The sun dipped below the horizon. Jonas, a sturdy woodsman, entered the forest. He needed firewood. Usually he was home before dark. Not today. He shivered. The air felt colder already. Deeper he walked into the woods. Shadows grew longer, twisting familiar shapes into monsters. A shiver ran down Jonas's spine. An owl hooted, its call echoing eerily around him. Jonas quickened his pace. He just wanted to get home. He chopped wood, hurrying. He piled it high on his cart. Each swing of the axe made him jumpier. The forest was alive with sounds. He looked over his shoulder constantly, his heart pounding in his chest. He started pushing his cart back, his eyes darting around. A twig snapped behind him. He froze, listening, holding his breath. Just the wind, he thought, trying to calm down. But his hands trembled. He hurried on, the cart bumping along the uneven path. A low growl seemed to rise from the ground beneath him. Jonas stopped, dead. His eyes scanned the darkening woods, his heart hammering against his ribs. He told himself it was just his imagination. He was tired and jumpy, that was all. He wouldn't let himself be scared, but fear, cold and clammy, had him in its grip. Then he saw it. In the fading light, something moved. Two glowing eyes like hot coals stared back at him. A low growl rumbled through the forest, making the trees themselves seem to tremble. A creature stepped forward, emerging from the shadows. It was taller than a man, covered in matted fur. Its claws scraped the ground, sending sparks flying. Its breath rose from its nostrils like smoke. Jonas was paralyzed with terror. Jonas wanted to scream, but no sound came out. This couldn't be real. It was like something out of a nightmare. He stumbled back, his foot catching on a root. He crashed to the ground, scattering the firewood around him. The creature moved closer, its growl turning into a terrifying snarl. Jonas scrambled back, scrambling for the axe he had dropped. His fingers closed around the cold steel. He raised it in front of him, a shield against the monster. The creature hesitated, its glowing eyes fixed on Jonas. Then, with a final growl, it turned and melted back into the trees. Jonas didn't move. He didn't breathe. He waited until the sounds of the forest resumed their normal rhythm. Then Jonas was on his feet. He ran. He didn't look back. He ran until the trees thinned and he could see the lights from his village. He burst into his home, slamming the door behind him. He was safe. But he knew, deep down, he would never forget the terror of his encounter in the woods.